Hello, good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Um, Welcome to our morning grounding and connection gathering. Um, I seem to like to start these with a yawn these days, so maybe if you want to, you can stretch too, whenever, wherever you're watching this. Oh, I feel like I'm spending so much time on Zoom that I lose track of my body. Hey, good morning, Becca. Oh, so I want to share a little bit about something that's been coming up in some of the groups that I've been working with. And this in particular came up last night, which was the idea of choice and decisions, and how the sort of old way of being in relationship to decision, which is make a big decision and go for it, is a little bit screwed up right now. As an example, at the beginning of this year, back in like November, December, I decided I was not going to do work like this anymore. Hello, hey Tat, good to see you, or have you here? I don't know. Uh, and hey Jason, how are you? So I had made a big decision not to do this kind of work, like one-on-one work or meditation work. No, I was going to focus exclusively on big organizational work and like sneaking healing work into organizations. And that was going really well, actually. And then in 2 days, it all disappeared. And so I was left with this idea that, oh, I'd made a big choice, which is what my culture had told me to do, and the universe will meet it. And then suddenly that choice was shifted profoundly by circumstances totally outside of my control. And what came up last night and what we'll explore today in a little bit is the idea, hey, good morning, Andrea. The idea that even the small choices we make in each moment can reverberate through the system and start laying the foundation for a world that we want to live in, right? So that we don't have to be kind of buffeted about by the waves of fate and fortune. We actually do have some navigational agency in that. Um, and a new thing that I'm doing since yesterday is starting with a poem by Hafiz. And these are from A Year with Hafiz, which makes choosing the poem easy. I just go to the day, which today is March 24th. And I'll read this. And I love poems like this because it's like they're messages sent through the centuries, because poets like Hafez and Rumi and Mary Oliver and Wordsworth and Shelley, it's like when they were writing, they tapped into something a little bit more universal. And their messages can resonate really, really beautifully today. So here's the poem. It's called As Fertile as I Am. Just the deep quiet, just wanting that now. The unmoving breeze to penetrate me as if I were needing, wanting, destined to conceive. And now was my only moment ever available to this life when I would be as fertile as I am. If the beloved does not lie beside me in the next hour, if light does not leave its seed all over my frame and inside, so full inside that I drip upon the street, as I then bless the earth with my steps, another eon may pass for a conjuncture of the elements in existence to be as opportune, as perfect as all seems now. But I can't wait. Not any longer, knowing how immaculate this moment. So I am begging with all my strength. Every cell has joined in and is calling now, 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 now. Cool. So let's just allow that poem to reverberate a little and find a way of sitting or being in your space that's comfortable to you. And you can close your eyes. Or if that doesn't feel right in this moment, you can just kind of soft focus them down towards the floor. And let's bring some gentle attention to the breath this morning. Being very aware with each inhale that this is you inhaling. and very aware with each exhale that this is you exhaling in this moment. And we can start to consciously elongate the breath. So really breathing in luxuriously and exhaling a little bit longer than feels natural or normal. Enjoying that sense of expansion on the inhale, the sense of relaxation on the exhale. And go ahead and take a nice deep breath in together. Deep breath in. Release it with a gentle sigh. And with that sigh, we can invite ourselves a little bit more into the body. So really allowing yourself, giving yourself the gift of feeling gravity, of feeling your weight, the solidity of your bodily form. And we can invite the hips to settle a little bit more into wherever you're sitting. Invite the shoulders to fall. Invite the head even to sit a little bit more heavily right atop your neck. And now with a kind of gentle attention, just starting right above the very top, tippy top of the head, placing your attention there and then scanning your way down, almost like you're a 3D scanner, getting a picture of what's going on in the body. And we do this with a kind of compassionate observation, noticing those places as we work down through the forehead and the eyeballs that feel relaxed and easy and fluid, and noticing those places that feel tight or constricted or tired. And not judging either one of those. Both are equally valid, both are equally beautiful in this moment. So working your way down through your throat, your shoulders, your upper back, your chest, solar plexus, belly, lower back, hips, down through your thighs, your knees, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And noticing as we drop into the body that the more you surrender your weight, then the more the earth can rise up to meet you, offering support. And if you want to, you can just allow really gentle roots to grow down into the earth, connecting you there. And at the same time, we can imagine rays of energy emanating from the top of your head, connecting you with the heavens. And notice what color those rays of energy might be. So we can exist in this state of really, I think, beautiful tension between the earth and the sky. And we're the meeting place of those two energies. And let's breathe into that. Nice deep breath in. And release. Now what I'll invite us to do is just follow the breath as it comes into the body. And let's see if we can invite it a little bit more deeply in. So see if you can invite the breath to move into the belly, the very bottom of the belly, like 2 inches behind the belly button and 2 inches below it. And as we bring attention to that place, you can imagine there or start to notice there like a beautiful pool of crystal clear water. And that pool of water might be a lake surrounded by trees, birds flying overhead, the sun shining down on you. Or it could be a pool of water in a cave or a cavern, lit by rays of light that come in, or maybe there's bioluminescence that lights that water from below. And as you observe this water and the setting around it, really allowing it to become as real as you would like, just notice how absolutely calm the water is. And then notice that as you notice how calm the water is, maybe it starts to move a little bit, just gentle waves or currents moving through it. And looking down at your feet, you see that there are pebbles and rocks of different sizes, and you can pick one up and just for fun, just toss it gently into that pool of water or lake. And as it hits the surface and breaks the surface tension, you can see, and you may even be able to feel, the ripples of impact spreading out. Feeling how they're more intense, right where the pebble or rock breaks the surface. And they start to get wider and more diffuse the further out they go. And you can now experiment with picking up a larger rock or a stone and maybe throwing it a little bit further into the pool and really feeling the emanations of that. And see, as you continue to play with creating ripples in the water, if you can actually feel those ripples in your body. That each time a rock or stone hits the water, it creates a response in our body, vibrations moving, energy shifting. And now you can pick up a really big rock. Maybe you can even feel the weight of it and the texture of it in your hands, and heave that into the water, and you can feel the impact in your body and the waves emanate. And this time, maybe those waves are so big that they extend beyond the boundaries of your water, of your body. So you can really feel the impact of even inner work or inner play extending beyond the confines of just your body or your imagination. You can imagine that emanating off of you. And continuing to stay connected with that pool deep within you, I'll invite you, if it feels right, just to open your eyes. And as a game, and it might be easier with your eyes closed, experiment with it. Just start moving your hand through the air. And as you do, just be aware of the molecules and energy moving and rearranging themselves in order to reorganize themselves around the pattern of your movement. And just like the ripples that we were playing with in the pool we found inside of us, the ripple effect from something as simple as dipping your finger into the air energetically extends outwards. And you may even be able to see that with your imagination's eye rippling outwards. Good. I'll invite you to close your eyes again for a moment, returning to that beautiful pool or lake inside of you. And just take a nice deep breath in and release. And another deep breath in and release. And last time, knowing we can return to this place, to this deep, still pool inside of us anytime. Just take a nice deep breath in and release. Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. So something that's very alive for me in this moment is the impact that even these small actions or small decisions that I can make during these days that are chaotic and very uncertain and comes in waves of intensity, that even the small decisions can reverberate out, right? What I decide to eat. Somebody I was talking to recently had a very specific moment at a store where, like, the store owner at a little bodega had a whole bunch of toilet paper and told him to take as much as he wanted just for free as a gift. And his immediate instinct was to take all of it, right? And then he had a moment of like, no, that's not who I want to be in this moment, right? I don't want to be the guy who does that. And so he took what he needed and left the rest. And who knows how far the ripple effect of that simple, like, human action, that small decision will have. Somebody has a toilet paper emergency and suddenly they're able to get it. I don't know, but it seems like these days that those small practical actions that might not seem significant are and contribute to the world that I want to be a part of, and hopefully you want to be a part of too. So with that, we'll turn to the archetype cards as we do every morning. Okay, Gail. And I think the question that's coming up for me is, how can I stay grounded? How can I find, how can I cultivate greater awareness of the power that my decisions have to create change and influence in the world? I don't remember what I just said, but hopefully it'll come to me because this is the card we're going to work with. All right. So today's archetype card, and this deck is the Wild Unknown archetype deck by Kim Krantz. So the card is the Desert. Yeah. Take a look at that. Whoops. There you go. And I will read what the desert signifies. 37. One of the benefits to doing this is I've gotten real good at Roman numerals. Here we go. The desert. X, 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 V-I-F, right. All right. The desert, the drought, the wastelands, the badlands. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, we're hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing that you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. When light, surreal, strange, unexpected vision, silent. When dark, drying, deadening, disorienting, and isolating. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy despite its desolate appearance. Turn toward it rather than away from it. What I love about archetype cards like this is they really have a way of speaking to the moment. Um, it feels like collectively we are in the desert right now. There's so much uncertainty, and there is also a tendency in the collective and maybe also as individuals to cling on to a sense of normalcy, to try to get back to things as normal, business as usual. I have so many friends who, they still have jobs, but now they're working from home, and there's been a scramble to kind of approximate or try to set up something resembling a normal workspace and just soldier on. And while that may be necessary right now, it denies the fundamental reality of where we are, which is that at least for the foreseeable future, old patterns interrupted. We're in a place of disorientation, and a lot of times not knowing what direction we're headed. And so going back to that question, right? Where can I find, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like, where can I find inspiration or grounding for those actions? What comes up as I sit with the desert is in truth, in the real of what's now, and moving from that place, making decisions from that place, as opposed to a reaction or a desire to get back to what came before. That even moving in alignment with that deeper truth in small moments can make a big difference. And there's also a lot of stuff coming up around like 3 days I spent in the desert a few years ago, but that's a story for a different time. And I'll be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. As always, I will post the archetype card in the comments to this so you can see the text. And this meditation will live here and at storyandspirit.org/meditations. And if anyone is feeling called or the need for some deeper connection with yourself, each other, and the breath, I'm hosting the first of what will be quite a few virtual healing groups tonight at 7:30 p.m. And I will put I'll put the link to that in the comments as well and share it on my Facebook page. Thank you, as always, for watching, and have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow morning.